So I'll tell you one thing that hasn't happened in 8 years in Serie A.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
That nobody gets sacked after 4 games, after 5 weeks.
After 5 weeks, there's always been somebody sacked.
All right.
This is the first time in 8 years.
There probably should have been. There probably should have been.
Oh boy!
Did you know that, Mike?
I was not
Serie A?
aware.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Maybe we're getting a little smarter.
Yeah.
I have a better topic to start this podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a better topic, a more positive topic, one that maybe we were all wrong about. Gianpiero Gasperini has Roma top of the table right now. They have not started this well in 11 years. It's since 2014 that Roma don't start this way. And the interesting thing with Roma is, yes, we built up with Gasperini that they're going to be attacking. We know with Atalanta, Matteo Bonetti one time called it the Ivy League for strikers because people, they just learn how to start scoring. But it's actually been that they have the best defense in Europe, which is the reason why they're able to have the results that they are having. Can we now, Roma is a team that you have deep in your heart, can we say that Roma is in the Scudetto race?
No.
Come on, after all that build-up.
No.
I hope so.
But come on, how can we not say it?
No.
Okay,
I want to see the next game is Roma-Inter or Inter-Roma. I'm not sure.
Inter Roma.
Roma just played away, so it's most
So they're playing
Roma
Inter.
Inter. Roma Inter.
I want to see that game. After that game, I'll tell you if they're in the Scudetto. To me, right now, they are not.
Why?
Because the center forward, the issue, they don't have anybody that right now. Ferguson is struggling. Dobrik is struggling.
One goal combined between the two of them.
Yeah,
It's usually the opposite of Gasperini. He's usually good in attack and his defense not the best. Now
Right.
it seems like it's
It's actually in the last 10 years, it's the worst Gasperini attack by many goals.
probably
Almost
the best
almost half.
defense, probably, right?
I don't have that stat. So that's why. But hold on. Now let me push back on you for a second.
And
let me push back.
There was another thing that you said before. The Kone. What's the story with this guy? If this guy leaves,
Maybe in January, not in January, in June.
oh,
Not
in June.
January.
Oh, not in January. Okay,
no,
in
I
June.
don't think
Okay.
Okay, now let me push back on you. In the last 15 years of Serie A, 14 out of the last 15 teams that won had the best defense. So maybe their attack is not scoring, but they have a better defensive record than anybody else in the league. What would you say to that?
I want to see them against Inter.
Yeah, no, it's a big one.
And then I'll tell you.
Let me just say something.
Okay, you said no as well.
First of all, you said we all. I mean, you all. I put Roma on my prediction at 4th place.
But that's not Scudetto.
I know. It's not Scudetto yet because...
That's why I said it. So you would be wrong.
I didn't say that Roma was winning the Scudetto, but I put them in zona champions.
Okay, but my question was, are they in the Scudetto race? I said none of us put them there. None of us put them there.
As we speak, the Classifica is lying, saying that Roma is first place, and by virtue to the fact that just they are sitting on first place right now, everybody's making this assumption that Roma is probably going to fight for the Scudetto. They're not. I'm telling you right now. They're not.
You don't think so?
First of all, they're very lucky the way they're winning their game. It's always this Cortomuso 1-0, and then, they play on Champions League, on the Europe, and then they wound up missing 3 times the same penalty.
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Everything is going the right way for them in the Campionato. A lot of the teams that they're playing against, they're getting unlucky breaks. Okay? They're hitting the crossbar, they're doing this, they're doing that.
You think 6 games?
Well, listen. At some point, they're going to need to snag. Okay? Right now, everything is going smooth. You know what? There is always, they're going to eat something. They're going to go.
Let me push back a little bit on that as
Gaetano
well.
was right about the first game against Inter, and then we're going to see the way they're going to do against AC Milan, against Bologna, and then they're going to show against Juventus and all that stuff.
So you're saying that they had everything go their way. I would argue it's been the opposite. I would say they've had everything go against them so far. And allow me to explain. Gianpiero Gasperini, his philosophy, he said it in his press conference when he joined Roma, he judges how good his teams can be by the attack. He did not get the players that he wanted in the attack. He said it himself. He did not have Jadon Sancho was the big name, or he wanted another player in the attacking. They didn't give it to him. So that's one thing that went against him. He had Paulo Dybala, who got injured right away. He had the only guy that they brought in, Leon Bailey, got injured for 1 month. So he's already had so many injuries against him. It's not his team yet.
Angelino Tuzao.
But so things have gone against him, and the only slip up that they had, besides Europa League, which the game against Lille was, I still think that they showed character, they showed a lot, was the game against Torino, where they lost 1-0. But besides that, they had some tough matches. They had matches that maybe he's never felt the pressure of the games, just like the match against Lazio. I don't think it's something that he's been expected. So despite some of the difficulties that he's had around him, despite not having a center forward that's scoring goals, that's another thing that's gone against him. Evan Ferguson, he's looked really good in moments. The ability to hold up the ball, he could dribble pass. But at the end of the day, you need a center forward to score goals. He tried to get rid of he tried to get rid of Pellegrini. He tried to get rid of Baldanzi. He tried to get rid of Dobbik. So the roster is not necessarily built for him. So you have to say that he has dealt with the problems.
That's
And
a lame excuse, Mike. All lame excuses. Lame.
I agree with it. I mean, Gasperini's brand new there. Is first time he's going to a real big piazza since the Inter days where he didn't do well. And I think if he keeps his form up, it's going to be very important how much money Roma are going to be backing him in the January Mercato. I think that's going to be big indication.
That's my biggest worry.
No,
with
in
the
terms
team.
of not even spending a lot. He can. We've seen in the past that he turned players, no names, into good players. So I don't really mean rather big spending rather than someone that can fill in those gaps. Because we have countless amount of talents that he sold for big profit just because of how he is as a coach. So, yeah, with all these injuries plus players not being in form, I think he's done very, very well.
He's gotten the most out of some guys.
Mike,
Like Matthias Sule. Sule looks amazing.
Sule was a good player to begin with. It's not that you're discovering something new.
I know, but he's been performing
streaky.
well.
He was very
How about
streaky,
Cristante scoring, Pellegrini scoring? I mean, he's gotten the most out of some
What
of these
about
guys.
the Greek kid over there that came from Liverpool?
Tsimikas.
That's
He's got a lot of experience.
A lot of it.
He does not have the quality to win a Scudetto. He's not better than Milan. He's not better than Napoli. He doesn't have that quality.
But you can have those
If he
off
gets,
years.
Put them on fourth,
if he
Mike.
gets
Where
a
did you
couple of
put
more
them?
players, yes. But right now,
An off
no.
year, we've seen it in the past.
The best team doesn't always win the Scudetto. Milan won the Scudetto against Inter. Napoli won last year. A lot of people said that they were not the best teams.
It's still early, but so far for what we've seen, I'm more than impressed.
Against Fiorentina, I think Fiorentina played very well against them.
Yeah,
but
they did. Maybe they deserve more.
They got
but
a lot.
deserved a
Listen,
little
they've been
bit more.
getting lucky breaks. I'll tell you the reasons why. Your excuse that despite this, despite that, despite this is injured, despite Pellegrini, none of that BS. AC Milan had Leao injury, he had a lot of people injured. I saw the Juventus, and then they have the Vlahovic situation. Every team is dealing with adversity.
But he's in first place.
That's so what?
But he's in first place.
So
That's the
what?
point.
You immediately jumped on the bandwagon. First place.
But I didn't give my opinion yet.
Okay.
I didn't give my opinion. I gave reasons.
I'm telling you, for me, it's the circumstances and the fact that everything is lining up for him. I mean, you know the way I highly rated Gasperini. Gasperini, for me, it's the god of soccer in Italy. Maybe it's in Europe. But right now...
You think he's going to hit reality, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, at some point, this team that he has is not built to win this campionato. Not in Serie A. Maybe he can win in the Greeks championship or the Turkeys, whatever. But in Serie A, doesn't have it. Period.
Okay. I didn't give my opinion. You said that I gave my opinion. I didn't.
Go ahead.
But I didn't put them in there, and I still think there's too many teams that have more quality than they have. But I have to say that they've done way better than I expected.
Yeah.
They're above and beyond,
Everyone,
despite all those circumstances. I don't think those are excuses.
That
I think
I
that those
agree.
are
I
those
agree
are
with that.
genuine reasons. And I'm somebody that didn't have Roma in the fourth spot. I thought that the other teams were better than them. I thought it would have taken longer for Gasperini to get his methods across. So for me, it's the buy-in from the entire team. It's the buy-in from everybody that I think that they all understand. Oh, we got to listen to Gasperini. It doesn't matter. It's not the same ways of Roma in the past. He's the boss. They have the full backing of him. And I think all of the players, even if I don't love some of their players individually, as a collective, so far, they've worked. Even in the games that they didn't play well, the fact that they've gotten the results, to me, is a positive.
Yeah.
And I think that they're an outside shot to win in Europa League.
I think that's a good point, what you said about that he's the boss, because they know that Ranieri and him are like this. And they know that Ranieri will back up Gasperini because he brought him there.
Which is something he didn't have necessarily
Right.
in the bigger team like Inter, for example. That was an
Right.
Inter that was a disaster. He had that support at Atalanta,
Yeah.
as Mike rightfully said. Different sort of pressure levels there. But either way, it's the fact that Roma are going towards a great thing. My worry, which Mike brought up in January, is that I feel like I'm reading into the future. I listen to a lot of the interviews that the teams give, and I've already heard Ranieri, in my opinion, lay the groundwork for we have to sell get ready because somebody big is going to be sold. I would assume it's going to be Kone. Even Svilar is a fantastic goalkeeper. I have a feeling that one or two come June is going to be sold, and to just be prepared for that, which would be a shame. And maybe the reality could change depending on if they win the Europa League, if they get Champions League football. But Roma has a lot of FFP issues. That's the disappointing. That's the bitter taste that's left in your mouth because you could feel like Roma's building a project. But at the end of the day, if you lose key players like that, it's always one step forward and two steps backwards.
I think we're jumping too far ahead. Let's just deal with this
Fair
Campionato right now.
Fair enough.
Because, right now we are after 6 games, nobody's running with anything.
It's true. We do.
Napoli's not running, Milan is not running, Inter is not running, Roma is not running, and we have even, don't forget, we have even Atalanta, we still have a Bologna, we have 6 or 7 teams that within 3 points, Roma.
So how many teams are going to fight for the Scudetto? You mentioned
3.
You think there's only 3?
3 teams.
3 in the race.
Yes. AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Napoli. End of the story. Goodbye. The end.
What do you think?
The end.
I agree with that.
Mike?
The end.
Do you agree with that?
Till the end of the season?
Yes. Mike,
I want to jump on this Roma bandwagon, to be honest.
I put Roma 4. I put Roma 4.
Okay, but he's saying there's 4 teams in the race.
Yeah,
I
say 4 teams in the race.
So which one is the 4th?
Roma.
Oh,
Roma.
okay. I put them 4th.
I will say
That's not the same thing.
I will say we got to talk about let's talk about the big match, which was it ended 0-0, but plenty of chances between Milan and Juve. And we usually start with the team that wins, but on this case, just because we're on this topic, I want to start with Juventus. For me, I learned that this Juventus does not have it to fight for the title. For me, they're a step below the 3 teams that you mentioned, and I agree with you. I think it is Inter, it is Milan, and it is Napoli because I feel like the level and the expectations that we have for Juventus have gone so low. The fact that there's some people that say, 0-0 is a good result for Juventus at home against Milan. Also for the performance and the fact that Milan misses a penalty kick. Milan had opportunities in front. Yeah, you could say Jonathan David has his chances, but I don't see it. I don't see it with the coaching. I don't see it with Tudor. I think that he could be a coach to get the team to top 4, but is he going to do anything above? And at the end of the day, Juventus have 3 or 4 top quality players. There's 3 or 4. There's Yildiz.
Conceição.
There's Thuram. There's Bremer. I would still put Di Gregorio. I know people are down on Di Gregorio right now, but the rest of the team.
Conceição. You forgot Conceição.
Conceição's a good player.
It's not a good player. It's an excellent player.
But either way, I have taken, after this weekend, I didn't believe it before the start of the season, but then I saw some of the results. I said, okay, maybe they could do it. I really don't think that this Juventus is as good or as strong as the Milan, Inter, or Napoli. Did you have that same feeling?
Juventus? Che confusione.
There you go.
Che confusione.
What makes you say
They
that?
are a mess. This thing. He put Kalulu again in the
Right wing
position.
back.
The guy was terrible. He couldn't make a cross. He couldn't make a pass. I mean, in the wrong position. Then what does he do? He takes Conceição, who was the best player,
and
Yildiz,
the 2 best
and then
players.
he puts the center forward Vlahovic, and he takes the 2 best players. I really don't understand this guy. He
was scared. I think he was genuinely. I think he was scared of losing this match because of what it would have meant, and there was not enough bravery when you're playing at home to understand. It's like he matched Milan. It's like he saw what Milan were doing and what Allegri was doing, which they had the smart game plan. Milan said, okay, we're gonna wait for you to make a mistake. We've watched you a million times. Juventus loves to make a mistake. Milan coming away with a 0-0 away from home is a fantastic result.
Not really. We could have won the game.
But okay, I agree. For the way the game went. In general, But in general, that's a very good result. For me, Juventus, you're at home and you're playing that scared. You're playing that scared.
I don't know. It transmits something. This guy, this Igor, it transmits. Then it doesn't change. But you got a very good player in Conceição. He's a very good wing. You play the 4-3-3, put Conceição on one side, put Yildiz on the other side, have Yildiz go inside, and have you have a left
Jonathan
fullback.
David.
No, you have a left fullback that can come up and cross the ball. Cambiaso, you have a Cambiaso. Let him go. Let Yildiz go. Make it the room for him. Then the center forward is a disaster.
What a mess.
I can't believe it.
The center forward is a disaster. This guy opened up. He's not a center forward.
Absolutely.
He doesn't like there.
Zeragova,
the only option that you
You
have.
didn't put him in.
I like the guy. I think he's got quality. He's got
The
a lot
only
of
option
quality.
you get is Vlahovic.
I agree.
That's what you got.
Listen, Marco.
One second. Let's build on that. Yeah. Because he started David twice in a row. He had a huge miss against Villarreal in a game that Juventus got a 2-2. But if you win that game, my God, it changes the fortunes in Champions League.
You could have lost that game.
I agree, but I'm just saying for that chance that he missed. Then he has this one that he slips that.
Are you kidding me?
It's comical. And it's not that that's
kidding me?
It's not that that's the only thing, right? That's not the only case. It's the entire season so far of Jonathan David, this player that was brought in on a free transfer, which I already had my doubts of why he's going to Juventus on a free transfer. They paid their agents good money to be able to get him. Vlahovic is still the best striker for Juventus.
I agree with that.
Does that mean that Vlahovic is the best striker in the league? No. But for Juventus, for this team, Vlahovic is the best striker. And I don't get how there still is this sort of rotation. Let's finish off on the Juventus side, because are we exaggerating? But I left this game thinking to myself, the level for Juventus has dropped so low. Not to say that they played a bad game. They didn't play a bad game, but that's not a team that fights for a title.
I just feel like the demeanor of this Juventus side, Tudor's not really convincing me as that kind of coach to really a Scudetto coach, I would say. There are a lot of questionable things from him, and there's not like a lot of. There's more question marks than solutions when I watch Juventus. So I think it's gonna take a couple of match days for them to separate from the top. I think we're gonna start seeing Juve separate from the drop down from the actual contenders for Serie A. Because whatever, I was optimistic for Tudor. I didn't even think that Mota should have got sacked, but regardless, I just don't think he's a top 4 coach, and I don't think more than that. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but that's what I'm seeing as of now.
On Juventus, yeah, okay. Mike is on 100%. Gaetano was on before when he was talking about Conceição. I mean, his sub. I mean, this is about. It's not about really. It's the coaching that he has created this massive confusion. You take in Conceição. He took Bartesaghi 3 or 4 times, and he cleared himself to cross the ball 3 or 4 times in a very dangerous way. So why are you taking your best player, or most dangerous player? Juventus was very smart in the beginning, on the first half, was playing the ball mostly on the right-hand side, right, because they saw there was a mismatch between Conceição and Bartesaghi. Bartesaghi is coming up big. Bartesaghi is going to be one of the national team defenders. I mean, I'm not exaggerating right now, but I see the kid has got quality. But nevertheless, Conceição, he was exploiting his weakness in catching up with his speed. So the guy was going to the right and just boom, crossing. All of a sudden, AC Milan, he had only trouble defensively. But then, I don't see this Juventus right now. They don't have il regista, non esiste. Locatelli, totally out. He doesn't take the game on his hands. He doesn't do anything. Thuram, he comes on the second half. I think he's got more leadership skills than Locatelli. But nevertheless, I don't know why. Maybe because he was injured. Maybe he had other issue. He comes in on the second half.
Thuram?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't fit to start.
Yes, Juventus is playing on a situational. He's playing situational soccer. In other words, there is no clear vision of what they wanted to do.
Totally
so
agree.
They exploit what comes to them. I said,
totally
okay.
Agree.
So I said, hey.
They adapt to every opponent. I've seen them. It's kind of like a boxing match or a basketball game. I mean, it's just, if Inter wants to play to a 4-3, okay, Juventus is going to play to a 4-3. If Milan wants to play to a 0-0, okay, then we're going to do it.
In other words, Marco,
you don't implement.
Mike,
you don't implement the style.
Mike, imagine you are in a street fight. Somebody punches you. You want to defend yourself. You have to punch him back. So it's like reacting to the other
very
team.
Very reactionary.
Yeah.
There's a feeling with Juventus. I don't remember if I said it last week or not. There's a feeling that Juventus can win and lose every game.
Yes.
In the same moment. Mm-hmm. I don't still have a clear idea. I think to go back to the Mike, you mentioned about Tudor, I still remain that if you could not get anybody better than Tudor, there was no need to change just for changing sake.
Yeah, that's what
Tudor
I
is
thought.
not the issue. The issue is the way Juventus has been built, the direction that they've been going in for quite some time.
So you say Comolli, whatever.
Well, they went from June to lead. Now to Comolli, it's his first transfer market. I don't believe in I'm just saying, in the last years, I don't believe in the project, that it's going to be the right project. So I'm just disappointed in the level and the fact that the standards of Juventus have dropped so low that you could celebrate a 0-0 in the manner that they played. To me, you can't. There's no celebrating a 0-0 when you're playing at home. You're playing against this Milan side. You should at least try to take advantage of your opportunities. And again, to flip gears, to talk about Milan, that's a Milan with clear ideas. That's a Milan that I could see where they're going. I could see where they're going to be match day 6, match day 10, match day 20. I know the direction that they're going in. You could say, okay, we missed a penalty kick. The ball didn't want to go in. The ball didn't want to go. Okay, but at least there's a clear game plan of what they want to do. Was it the best game of football that they played? Absolutely not. But you go away from home after just beating Napoli and you get a tie against Juventus, who spent a lot of money, who most people put above Milan in the market. That's a great result. That was, once again, Allegri adapting to the game and putting out the proper team.
Do you guys think he survives the season, Tudor, or no?
Yeah.
I will say.
I think it's gonna get rocky.
I'll tell you
February.
why. That's a good point. Mike has got a good point. I will say, Mike, the direct match, like I want to say Juventus playing now Roma. Inter, we know it. I mean, it was
against the big six. You're
the
saying.
big guns.
So far, they got a win and a tie.
Yes. If Juventus failed to win at least 3 or 4 of the games against the big gun, I think Tudor might be risky not to taste the panettone.
But I mean, Thiago Motta, he showed up in the big games. They actually played well. It was the small games. And I see a lot of the similarities with this Tudor team. A lot of ties, a lot of games that those are the matches that you need to win.
Questionable decision.
What do you think to Mike's
But
question?
Tudor stay for the season or no?
And then go on
Tudor,
He's
Milan.
gonna survive.
It's tough.
I'm
it's
not
tough
sure.
for
I
him.
think he's going to hang around the 3rd and 4th position for a while. That's where he belongs, between 3rd and 4th. So if he hangs around there, they're probably going to
He'll
keep
be
him.
fine.
Spot. That's exactly what I think.
Yeah. But going to Milan,
Yes.
you said that Allegri has clear ideas,
Clear
right?
ideas.
Look what I brought here. Look what I brought.
Yeah. Idee chiare.
I put down idee chiare. Allegri has got everybody. By the way, Milan's supposed to. I think they deserve to win the game.
Milan were better.
Yeah, they should.
Milan was better.
They're
Milan were
unlucky,
better.
right?
Allegri's got everybody in the right position. Very simple. He doesn't do complicated things, like Igor trying to reinvent the wheel. He does the simple thing. He gets the best players. He puts them in the best position where they can do the best job. And the thing about Allegri, he wanted to win this game. He made the right substitution. In the 62nd minute, he took out Jimenez and he put Leao. In the 74th minute, he took out Pulisic and he put Kungo. Leao had 2 clear chances to win the game. So the idea of Allegri in the right moment at the right time, he put the right player there. There's another issue. Leao is an
unlucky,
issue.
very unlucky, but hey.
But he was there. He had the chance. If this guy scores 2 goals, Allegri would be a magician. But he put Leao. The only thing is that I don't think Leao mentally still not there. I don't know. I thought Allegri maybe could talk to him, but he's not 18 years old. He's at a certain age. And I was talking to one of the best players in the world, and we were talking about Balotelli, and he said, if you're at a certain age and you haven't changed,
It's not
he
happening.
goes, it's not happening. It's very, very difficult.
I think you're
you
wrong.
can't teach
I
an
think you're
old
wrong.
So
You're wrong.
for Leao, no, I'm hoping that Allegri can get through to him.
It's his last year. I think we're at the point that if it doesn't happen now
It's
with
not never gonna
Leao,
happen.
we're just gonna say he's a very good player, but he never will hit
Amount to more.
he's not. The truth of the matter is, if he was a superstar player, the big teams would have came and grabbed him. That's the hard truth.
Cassano was right about him. He said, non vede la porta. A superstar, if you're a superstar, you're supposed to just clear everything away from you when you're about to impact your foot on the rubber of the ball, that's what people, they separate. All the noise goes away and all the stuff. Then it's you, the ball, and the goalkeeper. A superstar, he just...
So you agree with us?
Yes.
But I don't want to take away
yes
from Milan.
No.
I don't think
Hold
Leao...
on. I'll tell you what's coming up on top of that. So right now, it's happening on AC Milan, it's happening on Juventus, and it's happening in other teams. There is all of this struggle. Who's going to be the starter and who's going to be coming from the bench? Who's taking the spot of who? So, for example,
we're talking about Leao. Concentrate on Leao.
Leao is supposed to be starting on AC Milan. Okay, he's supposed to be the starter. Right now, Allegri is playing Jimenez. He's playing Jimenez on his position.
Because Leao's been coming back to full fitness.
Okay. So here's the reasons why this guy here, he needs to be not assured. He needs to be, the self-confidence comes with the playing time. Same thing what is going on with the Juventus. Vlahovic is supposed to be starting. When he's sitting on the bench, it's, you see, then they put a Jonathan David. If you're not starting, the guy didn't come out, not even for 1 minute. We are creating, the coaching staff and the coaching that we have right now, they're not good at managing the quote-unquote excess.
No, I disagree with
player
you. Because Allegri put Leao, from the first moment that Allegri got there, put Leao, he's going to be my player. He's going to be the superstar. He's going to be...
We're focusing too much on Leao, though. I think the beautiful story about Milan is that in years past, if Leao was not there, we didn't see Milan win. Now we're seeing a Milan that's winning, even without Leao. So if Leao shows up and Leao wants to play, that's the cherry on top of the cake for Milan. But he's no longer Leao is no longer the guy for Milan. Yeah. There's other guys. There's Modric. There's Pulisic. There's other players who have stepped up around him. And I think that might be Leao's wake-up call. That it's not just Leao dependent.
I hope so.
Are you trying to say that Leao is going to have the fight for his playing time?
That's exactly what I want to say.
Well, he's right.
Why not?
Compared to the Scudetto, Leao was like literally doing everything. He was on fire.
And that's why I wouldn't even... For me, the conversation with Milan doesn't even start at Leao.
Yeah.
The conversation about Milan is way deeper, and then we could talk about Leao.
That's a smaller problem under the bigger picture.
Milan is solid. They don't need to just be reliant on one talent.
They could have scored 5 goals if they want. They were unlucky at the end of the day. They played well, missed penalty, whatever the case was. But you can see Allegri's mentality and attitude. He was pushing.
The game is fluid.
He wasn't just staying for that draw,
fluid,
which is very encouraging.
Some games you got to suffer. Some games you got to suffer.
Exactly.
Milan last year, I watched Milan last year get into the craziest matches of all time. They would freaking throw away leads. They were not intelligent. They were not smart. They were not clever at managing when you're up a goal or even when you're up 2 goals. They would get into these insane matches. And I think Allegri came in and he said, guys, what's wrong with you all? The first thing that we need to do is we need to be solid defensively. Look at Pavlovic's improvement since Allegri has been there. Look at the improvement of the entire squad. He's putting the guys, like you said, in the right positions. As long as we don't concede, if we stay solid first, there's so much talent going forward with this team that we will find a way to score goals.
And Gaetano, like you were saying, last year, this Milan wouldn't be swapping players for the win. They'd be swapping players to defend the 0-0 and go for that point. Right. Now go for the win. So that's a huge change of mentality.
And the problem with AC Milan, at the beginning, we thought it was going to be the defense. And the defense is doing a good job. They're doing a good job right now. I mean, Magnan, the save
what
they
a
did.
Save.
The guy, the save that he made. Oh, I can't believe it.
But that's a good coach. He's very solid. Yeah. A lot of people talk bad about him, but he knows what he's doing.
Mike, I saw you were watching the highlights before. What do you think about the penalty and what came up to the penalty and whether it was a yellow or red or this and that?
Why? What's your take on it?
My take is that I think somebody is got it with us. I think we've been overly penalized. We've been given a red card the week before for exactly the same situation, whether the ball touched the player first and all that stuff. I don't give a rat ass about what everybody else is saying. I think that they are applying different rules when it comes to AC Milan. Okay? I think that was a clear red card. Clear red card.
So I could see why you're upset. I understand why Milan. I understand why Milan fans were thinking the same because it just happened last week with Estupinian. That's why he was suspended in the match. So I listened to what the referee said and what the actual rule is, which I'll be honest, I was not aware of this rule because I thought it was immediately a red card. That was my knee-jerk reaction. But then when I looked into what the actual rule says, there's 4 conditions for a clear denying of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And one of the criteria to give a red card is that the player needs to be in possession or in clear possession of the ball. It needs to be clear. So the fact that the ball is in the air and it's not obvious that Jimenez will get to the ball.
What are you talking about?
Hold on.
He was in front with the ball almost here. Hey. Why? Just because he didn't touch you in that fraction of a second?
Yes.
Give me a break. No, I don't buy that.
It's okay if you don't like it, but the fact is that's
rules.
why there was not a red card given into this one. It's one of the conditions that is given when you have to give a red card. Like it or not, that's just the way. And I'm not saying you could disagree with if it should be or if it shouldn't be. But according to the rule, the referee did get it correct.
Didn't Christina, what's her name?
She's the one who explained it to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But didn't she say that Milan should have given Juventus should have given a red card?
She came back in a few minutes later and said that it was not a red card because of the ball being in the air and not Jimenez not being in possession or immediately getting possession of the ball.
Immediately get in possession?
It's got to be clear that he's going. It's got to be clear that the player is going to be getting to the ball.
Mike, you are
basically
in front of Kelly. This is me. This is Jimenez. This is me. I'm in front of you.
Okay.
The ball is right here. That's not immediate possession. Why? What
because
is
the ball was high up in the air.
But then he came down.
Because it wasn't right to him. Like for example, when Estupiñán got the red card, it's because I think it might have been Di Lorenzo who was getting to the ball. The ball was going right. It was right there. So that's why.
Lame excuse.
You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it, but that's the reason.
That's apply only to AC Milan.
We give Milan so much credit. Take it easy.
No, we wanted. It should have been that guy would have been a red card. Would have been 10 on 11, 11 on 10, and we would have probably.
Okay, but it wasn't a red
damage.
card. Either way, Milan is going to be there until the end. I think for anybody that was still questioning it, I don't need to wait for any other games. I could say it today. Funny enough, Allegri after the game. Allegri's such a funny character. There's some videos of him when Leao made the miss. He said nobody's allowed to speak in the locker room after the game, but he said it after the match. Damn, I lost my train of thought. He said, "Oh, it's a good thing that we didn't win." He goes, because maybe we're gonna get too ahead of ourselves and think that we're too good. So maybe it's good that we keep our feet on the ground.
You know, one thing that stuck to me, Allegri is in the position to tell people like Perisic. I told him not to hit it with his the inside of the foot. Just go colo pieno on a penalty. How the hell you tell somebody?
Colo pieno?
Meaning with the
instep.
Inside?
with
the instep, with the
going,
shoelaces.
Boom. I said, hey, you're talking with the Captain American over here. I mean, you telling me how am I going to hit the penalty? I mean, it was unlucky. The guy just put a little bit of foot, a little bit slightly below, and the ball took off. But
it's a penalty. He's missed, I think, only 2 in his career.
Yeah, so I don't
only
know.
the second one.
Hey, Massimiliano, just calm down. Take a little chill pill and let Pulisic do what he knows how to do. So
what else you got on your notes? What team should we go to next, Dad?
I got a lot of stuff on Napoli, but you can go whatever you want.
yeah, you go ahead.
Let's do Inter first.
Inter?
Yeah, let's do Inter
All
first.
right.
Peter's not here. His back was hurting him. So he's not available for today. But it was an Inter that, again, I love watching the way that Chivu has gotten this team to play. So many of the youngsters, Bonni finally gets his first start. The guy gets 3 assists and 1 goal in his first start. Really good player. We knew the qualities that he had. He worked with him at Parma. I think it says a lot on the decision to get Chivu because Chivu wants to play the young players. He brought him in from Parma, so he knows him. Even Francesco Pio Esposito, that's one guy that we're seeing really explode and take his step up. It's because he came from the youth system, and Chivu worked with him at the youth system. And I think there is a valid argument to say that if Inzaghi was there, they probably would not have this player within their roster. He's the one who worked their way in. So I think it's good that they've added competition. I think that Esposito and Bonni have done more in 5-6 matches than Arnautovic and Taremi did all of last year. So there's finally competition. There's finally rotation. If Thuram or Lautaro's not on, they've got guys that I could feel confident on from the bench to get the job done. Akanji has looked really good. slotted in seamlessly. He's got loads of experience. Sucic as well. So, and you know what I loved? I loved Barella as the regista. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Barella as the regista was fantastic. I think that maybe that's his position for the Italian national team because we don't have a good guy. We don't have a guy that could play as a deep-lying midfielder.
That guy in Italian national team, he sucks. He's one of the best midfielders in Europe, but when he comes and he puts the national team jerseys on, he's just a total different player. He just disappears.
I want to see him play as a deep-lying midfielder.
God.
We don't have that. We don't have a player. Clearly, I mean, Ricci doesn't even get to play at Milan, so we can't say that he's going to play for the Italian national team. Rovella is having a surgery now. Locatelli, I think we all
Locatelli should be just totally wiped out from the Italian national team.
So who should
Why he still has a job?
Who should be the deep-lying playmaker, the deep-lying midfielder?
You mean
in front of the defense?
In front of the defense. Let me see.
Barella. Should be Barella.
Barella is more important on top.
Not that many other options.
But we have other box-to-box midfielders who could do it.
I know Locatelli is not a player.
Tonali, we've got Fratesi.
I would have actually... I will put Tonali.
But Tonali's good box-to-box. He's got.
And so is Barella.
Tonali's more attacking.
But I saw Barella move the ball in a way that I haven't seen in a while from an Italian player.
And he can shoot.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, why not? We're missing somebody there in front of the defense. I mean, everybody misses Pirlo, but
and we get Modric to play for us.
You got why not? You can try. I have no problem with that.
You guys don't have much takeaways from Inter then this week, huh?
Listen. You are, I think, overhyping this 4-1 win against Cremonese. I mean, what's Cremonese? Come on, give me a break.
Well, Inter is where they're supposed to be. With one more players, they will be fighting for Scudetto.
Who's this one more player? What are you talking
now,
about?
They're good.
What do you mean? You think they're not going to fight for the Scudetto?
With one more player,
who?
like Lookman, they would be.
Come on,
they
give me a
win
break.
the Scudetto.
No,
even without Lookman.
They don't need
Lookman.
They'll be fighting, but then
they don't need
they're not going to win.
They're
going to fight, but they're not going to win.
I think it's early to say for Chivu. I think we're gonna see his true colors.
I like Chivu.
I like him too, but his lack of experience could be decisive in the last few months of the Scudetto race. I feel like that could be the make or break. Not his fault, but it's more of not having that Serie A experience and making those substitutions when you should have made, and you only kind of get that. I think they lost that from Inzaghi. You only get that from being in those situations, and I don't think Chivu's
Inzaghi was terrible at making substitution too, Mike. Inzaghi was
but he got
anybody
better.
that got a anybody that got a yellow card was taken out.
He did get better.
I feel like Chivu's subs have been pretty good too.
No, yeah, as of now. But I'm saying when the pressure starts piling and those Scudetto winning games or points, I feel I'm not saying it's gonna happen or whatever, but I feel like that's gonna say a lot about him.
What you said you like Chivu. What is it that you like?
I think Chivu, even though he didn't get the players that he wanted, he's got new ideas. He's got right now. That's the team that he got. So it's not that he's gonna change everything.
Which is smart.
Yeah. So you stay with that. But I think he's a young coach. I think he's a modern coach. I think that the players are listening to him. He played for Inter. He was a coach. He coached all the levels, the youth system, and that's why he bought Esposito there. So I think, and his ideas are clear too. I see another guy. He knows what he wants. I think he's going to do well.
Did you see DiMarco threw some shade at Inzaghi as well? Because DiMarco's getting back to his best form finally, and DiMarco said, it's easy to maintain my level when I'm not being subbed off in the 60th minute all the time.
Oh, boy.
Which is funny because I thought it was DiMarco who always needed to come off. But apparently DiMarco's arguing that the fact that he's playing 90 minutes has given him more rhythm than in the past.
Yeah, I saw that. I just thought that didn't make much sense to me.
I was surprised.
He was struggling just to keep his mouth closed. I mean, he had nothing left. He had nothing left on his tank. So
he usually plays for that Azzurri that long, right?
Subbed him because he needed to be subbed. So, And I don't want to take anything away. So for him now to be saying,
He doesn't know what's good for him. That guy, right?
for him now to be saying something about Inzaghi, he gave him the ball. I said, hey, throw in quickly. He almost did the throw in himself. So
Speaking of
You
throw-ins,
should give him part of the salary.
Speaking of
throw-ins,
did you see what I sent you guys?
Yes, I did.
That
So
was
for
bad.
the
You
people at
lifting the
for
leg,
the people
all
at
the back
home,
leg.
I will explain what I sent in the chat. It was Bologna's third goal. Miranda, who by the way, minutes before did the exact same thing, throws in the ball and lifts his right leg so high up, and Bologna score on that action.
Yeah.
This is something that you brought up a couple of podcasts ago, that you
Right.
say nobody knows how to do a throw-in. There was a viral clip of Calafiori being told by one of the fourth referees in England how to do the throw-in. The goal should absolutely not have counted, and it was given.
It's illegal.
It's a legal throw-in.
Yeah.
I saw it. Even before you sent me the clip, I knew it, that it was illegal. But I said, hey, it's
Crazy.
I'm not calling it. So what am I going to do?
That's crazy. I couldn't believe that in Serie A you see these clips. But as you mentioned, it's happened a couple times where there's been a lot of foul throw-ins lately. One thing of note. Where should we go from there? Let's go to Napoli. Let's go to Napoli.
Oh,
I guess the transition there could be Spinazzola getting to the Italian national team, by the way. He goes in for Politano. I'd love to see Spinazzola. I think he's been fantastic as well. I know a lot of the conversation around Napoli because they were poor in the first half. I thought they were really poor in the first half. One of the worst first halves that I've seen from Napoli in quite some time. Genoa struggling, haven't been good under Vieira. We're still looking to finally get a win. And they're a tough team to play against. They actually are, despite the results that they had. They're very tough. I think Napoli in the second half overall looked better. The obvious one is saying KDB came in and the team improved, which is obvious. But I actually thought Spinazzola had a massive impact in the improvements that Napoli had overall. So it was good to see Spinazzola there. I think that Conte was right to start with the 4-3-3. I think when you play teams against the low block, I don't think you need to play KDB every game. I think that you could throw him into matches when you need solutions, but you're playing against Genoa. Let him get his rest. Save him for the big moments. I'm disappointed that Napoli can't do it even without him, but that is also the story of what Napoli struggled with. And the good news is Rasmus Hojlund is scoring goals. The guy's got 4 goals so far, 3 in his last 2, scored in the Champions League, scores again today. He just looks happy again. He's in the right places.
Lucky breaks.
He sat Lorenzo Luca on the bench, the player that was there during preseason that they spent $35 million on. So I love to see Rasmus Hojlund getting his goals.
You see, you brought a good point. I doubted Lukaku is going to get his place back, back, because this guy here.
I mean, if he's on fire, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
so
good competition.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
it's a good problem to have. You're saying
sure.
so. Talking about
You
the
can't
Spinazzola.
play all the games.
Who told you that?
Hojlund, you can't play all the games.
Lukaku, Gaetano, Lukaku is almost 35 years old. 30, what's
He's
he?
not 35 years
Well,
old. I think
32.
he's
What is he?
31.
31. Okay.
I'll check.
Yeah, Hojlund needs a rest too. When Hojlund needs a rest, Lukaku is going to be there.
Hey.
You got so many games. You play every 3 days.
But
He's 32.
I'm actually more impressed with Conte, to be honest. He's usually very rigid in the past, but him changing up formations and trying new stuff, I feel like he is evolving as the coach, especially it being his second year. He has a lot to prove because he's not a coach that really stays for the second year. So positive signs for Napoli and Conte.
Spinazzola, to your point, he played extremely well even against AC Milan, and he was, I think, one of the few that saved the performance for the team. Just the way, the individuality that he put on the field. Spinazzola right now, I think, is at the best of his.
Since the Euros, that time, right?
Well,
So
the journalist asked him, they said, "Oh, is this the best Spinazzola since the Euros?" He goes, "You guys got to forget about that." He said, "I'm better right now than I was
I
at
don't
that
know
Euros."
about that. Yo,
That's what he said.
looked
No, he's
possessed
looking good, Mike. He's
on the
looking
Euros.
good.
That's
He's
what he
looking
said.
Very good.
To Mike's point about Conte learning and changing, one thing that you and I both sat here and said last week, that the mistake that Napoli made against Milan was when he subbed out after going up 2-1. Conte subbed out McTominay
And De Bruyne.
and De Bruyne, both of those players. What did he do this time? This time you throw in, actually in the Champions League match, he kept in De Bruyne. He subbed out McTominay. McTominay is a player that's so far been struggling in this system because he's playing out wide. This time you keep on a player like De Bruyne in the Champions League as well, and he sent the ball that got you the 2 assists. So I think it is a good sign that Conte is adapting, because for me, he made a massive mistake in the game against Milan. And those are the sort of players that you need to leave on until the final moments because there's no disputing De Bruyne's qualities. You could say, is De Bruyne taking space away from McTominay? I think that's a valid point. Can De Bruyne play the way that Conte wants his teams to play? No. But you have to find a new way to get them into that position. And for me, in the last week, he learned the lesson that you don't take De Bruyne out in those sorts of games.
Marco, player to player, Mike, I don't know, you can confirm or just disprove me. To me, if I have to put De Bruyne and I have to put McTominay and I have to forced to choose one of them, by far, De Bruyne is way better than McTominay. De Bruyne's got a lot more quality. McTominay is just more of a power guy that it would just power you through and things like that.
No one will ever disagree with you.
Skills wise and quality.
Anto, that's like
De
saying
Bruyne is way over better.
That's like
way better than
Anto, that's like saying the sky is
So,
blue. That's like saying the sky is
Marco,
blue.
you trying to make the argument that McTominay should be is playing a little
Against
bit
Genoa.
No.
For me,
It depends the game. he's
De
saying.
Bruyne
You gotta
showed
know
last
when to
year
play
he
them.
can't play every game. Why do you have to play him in those games?
Yeah, against Genoa, you don't
It
have to
depends
play
who
them.
it depends who you're going to play against. Okay, then if you have to put him in the 60th minute because things are not working, okay. But for me, in a game like that, I don't think after just playing Champions League football, why do you have to play De Bruyne?
You're playing every 3 days, and you got to make some choice.
need
It's not like
rotation.
last year where you played only one competition. Here, why do you think that Marianucci played in that game? The only reason why Marianucci played
because
is
it was not on the list of the Champions League. That's the reason why.
Because a few days from then, you had a Champions League game.
But it's not
And
even on the
Bochum,
list.
He saved Bochum for the Champions League. That's why Marianucci played that game. Anyway, I want to get back to you about Conte. Conte is very flexible in changing the formation. Conte, he doesn't play. He played with the 4-3-3. He played with the 3-5-2.
Yeah,
he played with
always.
I
You
feel
know,
like
the
he
last
wa-
year
I
when
feel like he was so
Kvaratskhelia
rigid
when
in the
Kvaratskhelia
past.
was there, he played the 4-3-3. When Kvaratskhelia left, he put Raspadori, and he had two forwards. So he always changes. Anyway, in this game, he didn't play the classic 4-3-3. Okay, he had Lobotka and Gissa right in front of the defense, and he had Politano on one side and Neres on the other side, and a little bit more forward he had Hojlund.
How is that not 4-3-3?
It's like a 4-2-3-1, but it could be a 4. It's not a classic 4-3-3.
An hybrid is an hybrid.
It's not a
You know,
traditional.
it was. They said it. You could call it a. That's what Conte said. We can make it a 4-2-3-1, or you can call it a 4-3-3. Anyway, just to tell you that he can change and he can adapt. Now, what did he do in the second half, Conte? He needed some changes. Okay, Politano got hurt, so he had to come out. Lobotka got hurt, but he put Spinazzola. He knew that he needed something, a spark on that side. He put De Bruyne. De Bruyne came in. He was very effective, So he knows, he reads the game very well, and he knows what he needs. The first half didn't work out. The second half, yeah. I put De Bruyne, I put Spinazzola. If McTominay has to come out, he comes. He put Gilmore in front of the defense.
Lobotka got hurt.
Yeah, and he did a good job, Gilmore. So, he adapts, and he knows how to push them, how to motivate them. He's very good.
He's
at that.
got lucky. For me, the way I see him celebrating, listen to me. The way I see him celebrating against Genoa, it's like you won against AC Milan or
He always does
Juventus.
that, though.
I gotta tell you something.
You
The
stay in first
the
place.
dumbest thing in the world is making this argument. I hate when people do this.
Wait a
That's why he
moment.
wins league titles. You got to win against
He
Genoa.
stays in first place.
There's
He
more
stays
small
You got to
in
teams in
first
win
place.
against Genoa.
He's got under so much pressure to repeat himself because he knows if he does not repeat, I'm telling you what is going to happen. He's going to
Napoli
find an
didn't even-
excuse to get
Napoli
out.
didn't even repeat with Maradona.
Relax.
They've never repeated in their life.
Listen-
What pressure?
listen
you think
to
you think if they finish in second place, they're gonna be mad?
No, they're not going to be mad,
So?
but he's going to be mad because this guy
He's
is
gonna
a
be mad.
megalomane. This guy is like he cannot really take about the idea that somebody else is going to win instead of him.
He's obsessed with winning.
That's what I
He's
tried to say
obsessed.
to you. So what I'm trying to tell you now, look at the circumstances that are just coming on the surface. It's happening to him too. Lukaku's got hurt. Now Lobotka got hurt. And
A
now
lot of
Politano's
injuries.
getting hurt. Hey,
A lot of injuries.
not an excuse. You have to deal with what you have. And I don't want to hear anything about it. Like you finding the argument that, they don't have their best player, or Gasperini didn't have the player that he wanted or that he asked. No, none of that BS. You deal with what you have, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is Conte should not be complaining. Everything is going his way right now. But I don't want to hear about it. Oh, we've been dealing now with the Champions League. Oh, wait a moment. Politano got hurt. None of the BS. So if you I will say clap his. I'm going to clap my hands to him. But if he's starting to slip up, he's going to have to take the responsibility.
One thing to your point. I do think it is a big misconception that Conte doesn't change. Because when you remember when we were at his trainings, when he first joined Juventus from Siena, he did 4-2-4. He was even playing Arturo Vidal as a left winger because he was trying to find him. I remember in the Berlusconi Cup against Milan, he was playing him as a left winger. And then he had Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini. He had the 3-5-2. He said, okay, I had 3 really good midfielders. And then he was able to adapt. He said in the past, a coach is like a good tailor. He can only make a suit depending on the materials that he has. So I think that maybe sometimes, Mike, he was stuck in that formation and we wanted him to adapt. But I think in his mind, he said, I don't have the players to do that. And this season so far, to give him credit, he has done it. Even in Champions League 4-1-4-1,
yeah,
he found a way to play them
Juventus,
all.
I remember he was sticking players in 3-5-2 where they didn't even belong. He was just throwing them, and he was saying that quote. And it was just like, what are you talking about? He's playing these guys out of position, and he's not really fixing it because he was so stuck on that formation. I remember
in the
that
end, he always won at
clearly.
Juventus, though. In the end.
Listen, he has 4 great midfielders, and he took and he found a way to make all 4 of them play. And so far, he's been right.
But I just want to add on that, I think you only need that in games where you're playing a superior opponent. That's my big point. 4-3-3 can work to break down teams that do the low block. If you play PSG, if you play Manchester City, if you play these best teams, then I want to see the 4-1-4-1 because you want to dominate the midfield. You want
to protect yourself.
Exactly. That makes sense to me. I don't think that we need to see the 4-1-4-1 every single week. That's my point. In Serie A, I don't think you should need it when you play against these teams.
But he also doesn't have this much depth, I feel like.
He has more depth now.
That's what I'm saying. He's never had it. So this is like a big luxury for him to do this. So it's easier to
He's stuck. He's got his bench. He's got another national team on the bench. Right, Mike?
What were we going to add?
No. I agree. Now he's got, he has the option. He's got Neres, who's I like Neres on the side. He's got Politano on the other side. He's got, he could play with the 2 on the wings and
Who started in net?
He's got Milenkovic, who is a good. The thing that Milenkovic does is he's got this long man. When he kicks the ball, he can go
box
over
to box.
He can go over everybody.
He shadows a stadium when
he goes over the stadium. He just goes outside on the parking lot.
Yeah. So if you want to go over all the midfielders, let's say you're playing, I don't know, somebody really good, PSG, you can go over with this guy Milenkovic. You can go over the other thing.
He doesn't have to jump on his
he's not the starter.
How is he not the starter?
He is the starter. Meret is going to play.
Meret is gone.
How many games
we'll take Meret at AC Milan.
It's 50-50 right now.
We'll take Meret at AC Milan.
I'm going to check.
They're both back and
Mike,
forth.
who would you start?
Mike.
Who's the better goalkeeper?
Mandas.
Probably with the feet.
Why Mandas is not playing
Probably
anymore,
Milenkovic is with the feet.
Man,
now,
Sarri likes Provedel.
Now all of a sudden we get the goalkeepers because they can play.
It actually is. It is 50-50.
Yeah, with the feet.
Guy.
At one point, there were so many crosses into the area. I see so many crosses into the area, into the small area. When I was growing up, they said that in the small area, the goalkeeper is the king. He's got to get all the balls inside the small area. Now the goalkeepers, they get him because they're good with the feet. But you got to come out and get the ball. There's so many goals scored with the header inside the small area.
I wasn't a fan of him at Torino, to be honest.
Huh?
Really?
I wasn't a big fan of Milan.
He's good.
I always loved
Mike,
him.
the defense was Torino defense was
maybe
really,
that's why. But I see him make some boneheaded mistakes. And I'm like,
he made some save the last game.
His leg helped him so
the
much.
game before, I thought the ball was in.
His leg.
Sporting.
He went down with his hand.
Holy shit.
He must have hands like 3 times my
He
size.
can hold 2 basketballs with one hand.
What other team? What have we missed so far?
So Fiorentina has been a kind of a disappointing.
Wait, where's your notes?
Huh? My notes?
Where's your notes?
What do you got? You got anything for Fiorentina?
Why'd you rip?
Oh God, I ripped it.
It's
Mike,
soaked.
help him out.
Michael, hold it for me,
No,
please.
Pioli should not be
Why
out.
is it moist?
Because the chair was wet. You dropped water
Yeah,
on
the
it.
chair was.
Wait, hold on. He just said Pioli should not be out.
Listen to me.
Pioli should
Listen
not
to
be
Hold
me.
on, let him say. Why? Defend your guy.
He is saying
How
that
can
I'll give it to you.
It's 100 years that Fiorentina don't lose 3 home games in a row.
Okay,
100
come
years.
on. He's got Pioli. Is a good coach. He's in the past he has shown that he's going through a bad
Stretch.
stretch. I think they're still gonna come back.
In his
I
next
mean,
job.
he was look against Roma. I mean, he should have won that
He was
game.
unlucky, right?
He got unlucky. I mean, they did everything. They did everything right,
Except win.
But
Except scoring.
but the defense.
Story of their season.
The defense screwed up a little bit, but they had so many chances. I think that they played a good game, and he had a good lineup. I mean, they did everything, but the little details maybe.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Right,
Wait,
Defense
right on that.
Mike,
screwed
I got-
up. What are you
Mike, I
gonna
got
do?
a
You know what
question for
It
you.
changed the whole
Syndrome is?
trajectory. One goal
Marco,
changed the
He's
whole
got
trajectory.
Stockholm syndrome.
Relax, Mike. I got a question for you. Mike, I got a question for you. For
Yeah.
the life of me, explain to me why you have a Palladino, one of the most beautiful upcoming coach, talented, smart. He brings the Fiorentina almost to win a conference league. It's up there. I mean, he's fighting for the stuff. You suck.
He didn't
You
sack-
suck Palladino.
no,
Oh,
they
he
didn't-
sucked himself. He
Here we go again. He resigned.
He resigned.
And you know why?
You do not resign when you do not have somebody, supporting you.
He gave an interview where he said, I did not think there were the conditions to take this project further.
And with all the coaching around, because at the time that Palladino resigned, you say that she resigned, right? Okay. At the time, Mike, you know how many coaches were available,
But
young
this is
and
how I feel like
talented?
with the Lazio
Why
and
you
with
going with
Baroni. This was the same thing with Baroni and Lazio. He should have continued, and now they're sorry and they're not doing well.
100% on
I feel the
Spot
same
on.
way.
I know, but continue with
Spot on.
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, to me, they made a big mistake. Especially when you changing. The team was not a bad team.
Yeah.
You changing a lot of players. You spending a lot of money, and you try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has been invented already.
Just push.
Just put a little grease on to make it go a little faster.
Wait a minute.
Grease,
Wait a
WD-40. Yeah,
minute.
WD-40. WD-40.
Wait a minute. You got Ken, one of the best forwards,
He's
right?
not scoring goals under
Okay.
Pioli.
No, he scored on
scored
Sunday.
one.
He scored
He
on
scored
Sunday.
one.
Good
Okay.
celebrations though.
Okay, so I mean, he's one. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to sell him? He
No,
was
we
he
didn't
was a
say
top
sell
scorer.
him.
That's what he's saying.
I didn't say that.
We're
He
saying
said
you gotta
that
get the most
he
out of
said
your
that
guys.
you have to reinvent the wheel. What?
He said you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
They got Ken, they signed him, so he stayed there. He's a very good center forward. He's doing very well with the national team. You need a little patience. You bought Piccoli.
A little patient. They have 0 wins in Serie A.
You got Piccoli, who's a very good forward.
I like him.
So
You guys like guys that don't score any goals.
Relax.
This guy, Gudmundsson, I mean, he was supposed to be
Paisa.
a level
I'm
above.
telling you,
He's done nothing.
here's the problem.
Above
I'm not saying
everybody
anything
else.
about the player. Here's the
not
problem.
Don't smell that.
What?
Goodman.
They got midfielders.
Wet,
I don't know,
right,
this guy Som is supposed to be fantastic.
Supposed
Nicolosi.
to.
Yeah, this is all
He's supposed to not get relegated also.
Nicolosi Caviglia is
zero-
supposed
Yeah,
to be
Nicolas Caviglia.
If
They have 0 wins.
Frantesa.
Yeah.
So you gotta be patient. You gotta
Patient.
give Pioli
Yeah,
some.
let's
you gotta
wait
give
until the end of the
Pioli.
year. Let's say,
Well, they're fighting in Serie B, right?
Come on.
This is gonna bite us in the back if
Fiorentina.
he ever gets a chance.
We
if
love
Pioli wins any
Fiorentina.
games-
We love Fiorentina. We want Fiorentina
You know
to
what
do
the next
much
3
better.
games are? They got to play Bologna, Inter, and Milan.
Oh, good luck.
They
He's
could-
not gonna be there.
They could win all 3 games.
They should sack
They
him
can win all 3
for
games.
international break while they have time. Sack him for the international break, so there's
There's
time. for
Vanoli
coach.
out there.
Vanoli, no, Vanoli.
I think Vanoli would be good for that.
No, Vanoli.
Vanoli would be nice.
No.
I think so.
Take Thiago Motta. Thiago Motta.
There's that too.
Take Thiago Motta.
Anyway, we've said.
I'm surprised.
I will not. I know we're poking fun at you a little bit.
No, but you
No,
should
no, I'm not poking fun. I'm
We're poking
serious.
fun.
You should not fire the coach yet.
You should not fire it?
No,
it's
not yet.
definitely.
Let's see if the panettone gets eaten or not.
Halloween candy.
Why,
Oh.
by
No.
Panettone
What
and
about
then-
the Thanksgiving?
Oh, it's
No,
international
good.
break.
No,
They're not
Mike, we
making
got
it.
Thanksgiving.
It's
international.
Mike, we got Thanksgiving.
That's even
I'm telling you right
Latino,
now.
right?
I don't know why the Curva applauded them when they went out.
The curva?
Yeah,
What
they
curva?
applauded the Fiorentina team.
First
when
of all,
they
there
went
is
out.
no curva over there. It's all straight.
How long are they going to be redoing that stadium?
Well, it takes a long
It's gonna
time.
look like the Bernabeu,
Oh my
hopefully, after the
God.
construction.
Jesus.
Yeah, listen. When you're dealing with Pierluigi Nervi, which is the designer of the stadium, this is an icon in architectural.
He takes a
oh,
lot of coffee breaks. It seems
No,
like, right?
no. On the architectural Bible, Pierluigi Nervi, it's right up there. So
Let me tell you, you
it
could have
only
done a
takes a
better
few
job
thousand
with
you're
that.
gonna have
Only
to
a
do
few
it
thousand
right.
years
You're gonna
ago.
have to do it
Let me tell
right.
you that.
Maybe in the next lifetime.
Who else we got to
La
talk? Anybody
curva
else?
Fiesole.
Anything we missed?
We
Italy's got
missed,
international
Bologna.
break.
Bologna
Bologna
did
won
one,
4-0,
so.
scoring goals. International break. Back to watching Italy.
Back to
Like,
reality.
Fighting for
Back to
playoffs
reality.
at this point, right?
The only hope is it's now or never if Norway's going to slip up. It's the game on Saturday.
And they've been
No, we're
scoring
not-
like
we're not.
nonstop.
But that's it. I'm saying it's now or never if they're going to get there. The only shred of hope that I have is I saw Buffon was speaking, and he said, we got a 90% chance that we're going to go to playoffs. So my only way to spin this is that in the past, we didn't think that we were going to go to playoffs, and I'll never forget the quotes from the team that said, oh, they were surprised. Oh, we didn't expect it.
this
At least
guy
now,
over-
maybe they're saying, okay, we have to expect it. We have to expect that we're going to have to go through a playoff. So at least
That's not
mentally,
shock. That's
this
not a
team
shock.
that's mentally
Yeah.
mentally shot, because the talent we have, I go back on anybody that says we don't have the talent to play. We
Well,
do have the talent.
PA 1 does play PA 4, right, in the playoffs.
Well, you know who's in there? It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
Sweden and North Macedonia are two of the opponents.
North of Macedonia. The fruit salad.
Coming back.
Again.
Full circle.
That's not the circle that we like. No. But we'll see. We'll see if we got to do our job. We got to win the two games, and then pray
No way.
for some sort of
Slip
miracle
up.
to come our way.
Do we still have Jorginho with us? So we can miss another penalty kick or something like that?
This guy.
Or
He was perfect before then.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah,
loved
yeah, before
Jorginho.
that.
And once that...
Spain, and then
Once that
then
happened,
England.
everyone loved him. I remember he flipped a 180.
I still have nightmares.
I still have nightmares.
180. He was
Me
so
too.
good.
I think
But
we
then
all do.
those-
One of my kids was crying when Italy didn't make it. I'm not going to tell you who, but it was crying.
All right. Any other
Tears, Mike,
takeaways?
tears.
Yeah, I
Nothing else in your
remember.
notes?
We
I
went
think
to
we
the
got.
pizzeria after.
I think we got everything.
Nothing. The only thing I had was the top and the flop. That's it. It's
Who's the top and who's the flop?
what, the top.
Anything that we didn't mention?
The top is Modric,
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Nico Pass.
And the flop.
Nico Paz.
And the flop is this.
The flop is not Pioli.
Sule is doing very well.
Mm.
Oh, Cancellieri.
Cancellieri.
Lazio.
Cancellieri looks
Scored.
good, right?
Yeah, he scored for Lazio.
Man, he scored 2 goals. Man, the guy gave him a long ball. This guy took off like a train. And
He's got some speed.
there was no parking. There was no.
No, what is that?
Nobody was parked.
Nobody was parked over there, so.
No truco.
No truco, yeah.
Man, this guy took off.
Roadrunner.
He actually has some speed.
No, the flop, it's Coop Miners is right now.
Oh
is
my
very-
He didn't
God.
play.
He has been. Well,
He didn't
so,
play.
so
Just in
far.
general.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's so funny.
so
Yo,
far
you
he's
guys
been,
are
he's
planting
been
something bad on
He
the
didn't
head of
play.
this guy.
David is disappointed.
David's
David,
no good.
Jonathan
is-
David. Is
is-
that David or David?
David.
David.
He's Canadian.
He's disappointed too.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Marco was
All right.
jumping up and down like
No,
a
never.
grasshopper when they
Never.
initially signed him.
Freaking
Oh, we
liar.
got Jonathan David,
No.
and we got Penda.
I was
You
never
know, his
crazy
mouth
about
was was filling up like he's the best thing after
Since
a sliced
sliced
bread.
bread.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
Okay.